There he is. You. Working on a Bronco. And it's getting a whole bunch of stuff. He ordered some MTI speaker brackets for the front. We're doing a set of the Flax 3-way. So this is, I think this is the passenger side. Either way, so you have that. He ordered, I believe, their amp rack, which we're gonna have to modify heavily because we're installing a Mosconi 8 to 10 to power the 3-way set and the rear speakers. And also we're going to be using a Rockford M5 1001 to power his subwoofers, which he's got this box here. So this is a L7T's 212 box that he had made. Somebody did a logo here on top. He also had this bracket made to hold the weight of the subwoofers, but we're not even to that part yet. Trying to get to that part, but we had a couple other things. Mosconi, yep. So this is the rear side panel. It goes in the back, and it had a grill over where the factory sub would have gone, but he got one of the weird Bronco models that it has this that looks like an amplifier and sub, but this is not a subwoofer. This is literally just a cone. There's no magnet, there's nothing. And this is not an amplifier, it is just a circuit board inside of aluminum heatsink. So there's no guts inside of this ever. So it is 100% a fake enclosure. It's really quite disturbing. But yeah, there's nothing here. Like, it's just a cone, nothing else. No spider, no nothing. No power. So that's what he's got going on. So there is a different side panel when you get the grill. When you have the subwoofer. So in the previous one, it had a pocket, and we made an access by removing the pocket so that we could get to our equipment if we need to without pulling the whole panel off. Obviously you may still have to pull the whole panel off, and this one is a lot different because it has the grill. It's bigger. So, and the way they attach it is much, much worse than they do the pocket. So this one was hard to get off. So what we had to do is come up with a way to combine two pieces. So there's screws on the back side that screw into this front trim. And so this is all acrylic, sanded, painted, vinyl dyed. Sets in about, this is a 1/2 inch here, it's 2/4 inch. But very painstaking amount of time went into getting this so that this would screw in. And here is kind of the walkthrough of how it happened. So this was the original template that we had from the previous Bronco, and this goes like this on the back side. And we had to get the bigger opening, so we traced and made this so we could figure out what it was going to look like. And so then this modified and turned into this guy here, which is the finished product. And then this is the spacer that is going to attach to it. So this lip that you're seeing is the same lip that you see here. And then there's another piece that went on top of it, which is this. So this and this were glued together, thermal nutserts put in from the backside, and so that they line up. So screws come into here. This is a bigger hole. This is where the nutserts went, so you wouldn't see them on the front. And then these also have nutserts, so we'll have 4 screws that hold in the grill that goes into this. Okay, there you go, Christian. Have fun. So a lot of work went into just making an access point so we can quickly get to something if we need to, but it's also going to look really cool. So this Bronco is, as you can see, gray and orange, rhino lined front. They put some rhino line on the hood, which is cool. The fenders are rhino lined. The bottom of it is rhino lined, which I think is pretty awesome. They rhino lined all this, but you see all the orange accents all throughout the vehicle. And so the grille is going to be gray with orange accents. So right now it's printing a whole bunch of little holes. Yeah, a lot of little holes going into it. What it's making is this piece right here. So that piece will be two pieces. It'll be a back gray piece, and then there'll be an orange piece that trims it out, and the horse will be orange as well, the Bronco. So that's gonna, I don't know, it's got another 20 minutes or something like that on it. Afternoon. That Bronco kind of matches the Memphis African. Yeah, that had blue, so if you would swap out blue and gray, you'd be right in there. I'm getting a single 12 box. How do I hook those blue LEDs up? Yeah, you can hook them up to that. Obviously, you're gonna have to ground it, but yeah, if you wanna do that, go for it. Jacksonville in the house. What would you suggest to use? Helix P60S, P-Amp, or Audio Control D5-1300? If you need a 5-channel, the Audio Control is a much better 5-channel than the P6 is. So way more power on the subsection than there is with the P6. I did a lot of looking into that because we sell both of those, and there's just not a lot of power coming out of those 2 channels bridged, which is one of the only Helix amplifiers you could bridge. So it's really a 6-channel. I would compare it more with the LC6 1200, not the 5-1300. So if you need a 5-channel, definitely go with the Audio Control. Bass boost is fine as long as it looks good on a scope, so play with it. Okay. Spent all my money on speakers. Now I need a good budget amp to push them. Currently running on a Pioneer. I don't know. It really just depends what you consider budget, how many channels you need. So there's a lot to consider in that regards. The 8604 isn't the worst amplifier. It's a nice amp. It's got a lot of power. It'll do the job. But if you're looking for something better, you got to figure you're going to spend twice as much money as you did on that amplifier, so it's going to be substantial. So I don't know if that... No, so the reason why, Bobby, there was no Instagram repost today is because if you remember last week, we were having all kinds of issues with comments not appearing and stuff like that. So even though you can go into and watch the previous videos, what typically happens is Instagram will archive the videos into a playlist, and then at the Sunday I download those archived videos, and then I correct the imagery so that the 5-star is the right direction, and do some sound so that, because Fernando is usually farther away, I fix all of that so it's a much nicer experience. But because Instagram was glitching all last week, only one video was available for download. Everything else was not there or screwed up. So I tried for an hour or two to figure out ways to try to download it, screen grabbing and stuff like that, and at the end it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So today you got no video. Kind of sucks, because if I could figure out a better way to do it, I will, but they don't let you download. So it kind of sucks. So yeah, that's why. Spent all my money on C7s. You better get a substantial amplifier then. You spent all the money on that. If you're a JL guy, I'd look at the VXI, the Mosconi 1 series like we're doing in this, the 8 to 10. an Arc Audio Blackbird, but I mean VXI would be the way to go if you want, you know, curtains to match the drapes and all that. Yeah, of course we got Sebastian a gift. I took him shopping, and then we got him stuff, got him science project stuff. It's pretty cool. He had a great time yesterday. We all did. Thank you. Can't go wrong with Z7s. No, they're nice speakers. Yes, the Glowforge is just unfortunately making a bunch of noise in the back. Hitting, what hertz do you usually put your subwoofer amp, and do you recommend avoiding bass boost or using it? Oh, this is the answer to the other guy's question. I typically stick around 80 hertz. It seems to be what works. It's a good place to start, as always. I love bass boost. I mean, that's just it. I you know, sometimes bass boost really make it come alive and not sound boring. So,
Totally boring.
I'm a big fan. I feel everything should have bass boost. But, you know, hey. Dean and Fernando have done incredible work for the industry. It's amazing, actually. Oh, thank you. Lord Dean. Yeah, landowner. I do have the paperwork. How do you feel about Boss Elite as a budget touchscreen? I really haven't played with it. I know Fernando's touched it a couple times when we've been at shows.
Which one?
The Boss Elite.
Hey man, it's not the Boss that they used to be, right? They improving.
I mean, you know, you're describing it as a budget touchscring, and I feel it's
just saying,
yeah. No, I'm just saying.
If
we know what we're buying.
If you're gonna start, yeah.
We know what we're buying. So, compared to some of the other stuff out there, yeah, I think you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, correct.
I like it more than a hair, man. You're welcome. Bass boost versus epicenter. I mean, if the box is right, I think the bass boost has a much more pleasing effect than the epicenter. But then again, it's a tough call because, you know, the older music that I'm sure you and I both listen to, epicenter really does. But I don't always want big fat bass when I'm jamming out to Van Halen. So I know some guys do, but I just want it to sound good. So I would probably still stick with bass boost. Do JLC2 6.5 components fit in the front of a RAM? So the front of the RAM is a 6x9. So will they fit? You can make brackets to get them to fit. They do have to be reasonably thin brackets. So probably like 1/4 inch at the max. I think 1/8 inch with like a trim around it to double it up around the outside would probably like countersink it into like something like that would probably be better. But definitely, I mean, 1/8 inch, probably going to have to do 1/8 inch. But yeah, you can get them to fit. I think Metra does make a 6x9 to 6.5 bracket that you can pick up too. So if you don't want to screw with it all, you can pick up Metra's bracket.
Metra's bracket, baby.
Hey, if you touch it too much, you will grow hair. Yeah, well, you know, whatever it takes. Then will the 6x9s fit, and worried the magnet is too big. There again, I don't know how big the magnet is on a 6.5 C2, but they're designed to fit 6x9s, which typically have a bigger magnet than a 6.5. So as long as the speaker's not too deep, you know, like excessively, you know, just like ridiculous, which I don't think a C2 is, you should be fine. So it's not the depth that I'm worried about, it's coming out of the door that I'm worried about. Because the grill, the door panel will get in the way, is really the problem. So, hola. Or aloha. I don't know, whichever you like.
Benjamin, what's up, man? What's up?
I wonder how we're doing over here on the... ¿Cómo estás? Tonight, 6:30 is the live show, also, don't forget that. Oh, we got 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
3 minutes?
22 seconds. I could probably queue up the orange piece and just get it all glued together. That would be fantastic.
You got the orange piece in already?
Should have done that.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of something else. I should have scored the top of the gray piece so I could just peel the paper off and put the glue on it. That kind of sucks. Should have done that. Didn't do that. What's up, Lance?
What up?
It's just too much to think about. Can you suggest a 3-way set of speakers with a 6.5 inch mid bass and a 4 inch mid? I know Helix used to make one, and not Helix, Hertz. I know Hertz used to make one where they used a 4 inch. You could buy a la carte in Audison and make your own because they sell everything a la carte in the Forza line. So you get a 6x9, a 4 inch, and a tweet. You could also do audio control. They don't make a 4 inch, never mind. They make a 3.5. Yeah. The Access from Focal has an oversized 3.5. I don't know if that counts, but. With passive crossover. Check Hertz. Yeah, one of those I think has a 4.5, but passive crossover is going to be tough. Yes, the G35 is stripped to the bones. We did that last week. I have 2 JL Audio W3 V3s. What amplifier? JL? I don't know. I don't know all the JL amplifier names.
Right. Elias.
You're okay, Christian. You're doing great today, Elias.
How do you know he's doing good? He probably is not working.
I mean, he works for HKI. He's always working. Yeah, it's never a dull moment. Never rest. Never give up. Never surrender.
And then he's gonna be with you next week,
He
right?
is gonna be with me next week. We're gonna be hugging it out.
Okay, that's personal.
Yep. No,
That's just personal.
it's just what it is. Ooh. I can tell it's almost done. It's doing the last cut.
Why? This is slowing down?
No, it's not going. Whoop, 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 whoop. So it's making the last outside cut.
You're pretending.
He says I'm working in case
You're
Tommy is reading
pretending. That's
this.
the difference.
I mean, it is 5 o'clock, so no, I
So it's a drink right now?
I mean, you know, if he's doing anything, there's probably a TV, possibly a stereo on. He's very half-heartedly looking at it.
Yeah.
You know,
Apparently Instagram is where it's
is my
at.
passport up to date for Canada? I hope so. I mean, I hope you get more than a year out of it. I don't know. I haven't looked. I mean, I don't even know how long they're good for.
No, but you get it for
I've only had it for
multiple
2 years.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think I've only had it for 2 years. Either way.
You don't have it for 5 years?
No, I haven't had it for 5 years. Oh, it's gonna rain. Oh, it's just making a mess over here. It's like a million little holes.
Let's grab the garbage in so you don't grab all the holes in there.
No, I want them all on the floor.
Yeah.
And we can be like, why does the floor feel all bumpy? I mean, they got all over the inside of the laser, so that's good. So this is, you can see the horse. So that's a score, so we know where to stick it to line it up with the, look how dirty it makes your hand. No, I'm just trying to get the rest of them out. There we go. Yay. So there's the horsey. So this is gray, light gray acrylic. Alright, so let's see how that, ooh. That looks cool. Now I just need to make the orange piece. So let me flip that around. So this will be it here. So the next piece to be cut is the orange insert piece. This is just paper on here, so just in case anyone's like, what the heck? Right. Get rid of the gray. Shiny orange acrylic. Oh, these little hole thingies got everywhere. Alright. Let's go back. Let's go forge an Audi. I mean, you know, you're the master over there, man. You don't need my help. Okay, so that should be it. So let's do that, get rid of that. Okay. Alright, so we're going to export this out. The funny part is you have to keep labeling things. Dean, can you leave for Canada this week? I leave for Canada next week. I think Wednesday night. I leave after work on Wednesday night for Canada. So I'm taking a late flight in. So I get in at like midnight or something like that. Ooh, look at that. Okay, let's get this going here. One of the things that when doing a laser work, you know, if you get to that point, is figuring out what layer needs to cut and when, so that you don't have the piece like move and it all looks weird. Alright, so always have to go in and rearrange things. I think there's a color hierarchy to it, but I haven't had time to figure out what it is. Yes, I leave next week. Hey Dean, my C7s are 50 to 5 hertz. Will it hurt them if I play them above 5K? I think it'll hurt them more if you play them down to 50. Oh, that's only going to take 2 minutes. Cancel current print. I really think that's too close to the edge. So let's move that up. That's kind of low for the mid bass. Subwoofer should be taking care of most of that. But the high frequency, it's not necessarily will it hurt that, it's just will it screw up the way the mid-range interacts with the tweeter. That's, I mean, like a Focal 6.5 usually play from 80 to 5,000 if there's no mid-range. So, we don't really do a lot with Kenwood subs by themselves. We use their loaded enclosures, and I like the way those woofers sound. So, possibly yes. Oh, you want Christian to fill in for me while I'm gone?
Yeah. Yeah, you can come, buddy. Bring your own insurance because...
Yeah, you're gonna need your own insurance for sure. So the piece that's gonna cut now is this here. And this is all just scrap, but yeah, it won't really matter what that looks like, because yeah, so that'll set into this and we'll be all set. I almost feel ashamed throwing away all this cardboard. I mean, that's why we got it, so we don't waste stuff, but it still kind of sucks sometimes. But see what this looks like once it gets done here in the next couple minutes. Ooh, we got something today. We had a guy stop by. The guy's name is Jerry.
Andrew?
Why does it say Jerry?
I don't know, dude.
Where the hell
it in the paper?
I don't even know where Jerry came from, man. Whoa. His name is Andrew.
Wow.
Downey. Anyway, his name is Andrew. He's in town from Jacksonville, and he knows how much I love classic car audio and all the tchotchkes and stuff like that. And he walks in with this thing in his hand, and he was like, and I immediately saw it, and I go, ooh, I know what that is. And some of you guys will know what it is too. Look at this. He's had this in his attic for years. Just this, just the screen, nothing else. Just chilling out. Some of you guys will know what this is. But, oh, this is so cool. I cannot wait to... I'm gonna make a cool, something like we did for this, out of this, with the cool logo of the manufacturer. For those of you guys that know which manufacturer made this. Alright. Anyway, so if anybody knows what that is, Fernando, can you do me a favor? Can you pull that off the wall and open it up and grab the piece of paper out of it? Hold on, Christian. All right, so let's get this out of here. So we have a special drawer for all the weird colored stuff, so it goes in there. And we have the trim. We have the horsey. And we'll save this for scraps and stuff like that. So like different drawer. So now you got the orange horsey. And there's that little light line right there. So this, we'll peel the paper off and this will get attached. So it'll sit just like that. And then the orange will come around the front and sit just like that. So this will be his grill for the truck. So we'll peel the paper off, we get this all looking sexy, and then those screw holes there, we'll take this guy right here, which is an M4, and it'll go right into this, and we'll screw it right into place. How cool is that? It's symmetry, man. It's Rockford Fosgate. We have a glow forge. This one. We're just using a bigger glow forge, not the little cheapy one. But the $1,000 one would probably be nice too. But anyways, that's the grill. That's what's gonna go into there. We got about 25 minutes before 6 o'clock, which is our time when we're gonna call it a wrap. Hold on, Christian. I know what I got. I had Fernando get this. So this show is brought to you by the fine folks at Morel. And so Christian asked about specs for the shallow mount woofer. And so here we go. Take your screenshot now, Christian. Recommended sealed enclosure is 0.5. For the 10, the 12 is 0.8. Recommended power range is 350, max of 700. Recommended ported is 0.8 on the 10, 0.14 on the 12, 4-inch port, 30 inches deep for the 10, 4-inch port, 35 inches deep, with a tuning of 26 and 24. All right, so there's your information. And then if you would like to know all the other fun stuff, there you go. So that's it. So that's what you're looking at. This Kenwood Exelon 6-channel amp with DSP, easy to use. Don't even waste your time on that amplifier. It has end of lifed, And even if you can get a good deal on it, doesn't matter, because you'd have to have an older iPad or iPhone in order to use it, because it does not work on any of the current Apple products. And I don't even know if it works on Android, because I don't think anyone ever used it on Android.
Right.
But it no longer syncs up over Bluetooth like it's supposed to, so it's pretty much dead. As far as it was easy to use, yeah, it was easy to use. I mean, it was, sure. It was kind of a pain, but 2019 Lexus IS 300 non-Mark Levinson system, looking to replace the head unit, amp, speakers. Know where I can find harness? No, there's probably nothing in order to replace the head unit. I mean, really, when it comes down to that, if Metra has something, you're in luck. Other than that, I got nothing. So I would check metraonline.com and see if they have anything else. 10.6 cut. Thank you. Oh, you bet, man. And with that, we're going to get back to work. I want to try to get that grill finished up before the day ends, and then we're going to set up for the live show tonight. We'll be taking more questions and having a fun time. Woo! And like I said, this show is brought to you by the Five Folks at Morel. You can find them at morelhifi.com, or here on Instagram. You see cool pics of awesome systems
that you guys probably made. Yeah.
Huh. Make sure to tag them in anything you do. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later. Bye. Peekaboo. Good day. What is today? Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. All right, so we were here Monday. We showed you the Bronco we were working on. At that point, it was just a bunch of parts, and those parts have since moved their way, good morning, into the vehicle. What we have here is the 8-10 that is powering the system. We'll go over that in a second, what is powering. But that little guy right there is a Rockford T750.1. Originally, we were going to do the 1000M, or M5 1001, I think is what it is. But we figured out we needed a bass knob. Those amplifiers don't do bass knobs, so we switched them out for this version of the amplifier, which can do a bass knob, because we have those bass knobs. T-Spec, Fuse distribution, just power, because there is a fantastic ground located right there. So we sanded our paint away, used that ground point. Right now the USB is just tucked right here. Got a zip tie on it. It's just to keep it out of the way while we're working on the car. We'll cut the zip tie. This is the 0 gauge. It's going to go to it. He's still tucking all that in. This is my wire that's hooked up to switch number 5 in his overhead console that is going to turn on the lights in this enclosure that he got. Whoever built this, congratulations. You don't know how to build a box that actually functions for what it is. So this is cool. This looks really nice. I don't know what the deal was, but whoever built this, I mean, it came with like 4 self-tapping screws screwed in the back door. I was like, that's not going to work. He had, which we showed Monday, he had a cool metal plate built right here. There was no way to run the wires here. And the speaker cup they used, when you untwisted to put your wiring in, would have touched the back door. It was just a mess. So he built a new panel. He wanted it up against the door. We took some Forstner bits and drilled into the back so that the bolts that he used would be no problem. Took it over the router station. We routed out a groove, just like is on the pack piece. So like the Stinger version of it that has a nice groove. We just copied that. Countersunk in the speaker cup some more so that even at maximum twist. Then we took and used ground zero foam, 1/8" sticky foam, put all over the back side of the box. He had already figured out how to mount it, so that was nice. So he put nutserts in on that big plate, so we were able to do it. The subwoofers didn't fit. Of course, why would they? So we had to sand this side of the box so we could get them in. yeah. Anyways, it looks beautiful. So all that back end stuff really doesn't matter because right now it just looks really good. It's on the door nice and firm, and all the lights light up, which is cool. They're not going to light up right now because we don't have the power connected yet. That's next. So we'll come back and show you the power maybe later today or something. What's a tool tip of the day? May I suggest a tool you bought that does not get used as much as you'd hoped? All right, I'm going to think about that for a minute because I try to use all the tools that I have. Let me think about that for a minute. Anyways, let's go back to this. So this is the MTI piece here. Yeah, that's in. We added in, we modified it to get it to do what we wanted it to do. As you can see, added in all the holes, routed those out. Those are laser cut templates we made, stuck on, and then we're able to laser out where the wires needed to go. And then has the MTI pods up here. The car is Rhino lined, so this works. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah. We have the front speakers in, so we got those. They're not snapped into place yet, but we got those up in there and wired in. Everything is wired at the moment. Pack harness, you got to pull this thing down and the plug is right there. It is a pain, but if you've got normal sized hands, you can get it easily enough. And that easily enough means it probably take about 45 minutes, but it's worth the fight because otherwise you got to take this whole dash out, and that's like hours of adventure. Base knob, Ford is using this as a universal piece in pretty much all their vehicles now, it seems like. So this is a great place to put your base knob. So that went in right there. Let's see. What is a good aftermarket auto start for Benz so I don't have to pay for the app? Gotta be honest with you, I have no idea. We don't do any remote starts at all, ever. None, zero. However, my buddy Ada at Absolute Electronics in Rockville, Maryland does do all that stuff. So I would probably give him a call. That's Absolute Electronics in Rockville, Maryland. You know the place where the bridge fell? Yeah, there. Mosconi is cool stuff. Mosconi is cool stuff. Those are nice kicker grills. Are they available for sale now? Yes, those are. They're actually the marine grills, Danny. So, yeah, it's they're marine ones. So the problem is they're plastic. Okay, so if you're looking for something that is superior, super rugged, but they do have LEDs right here, and the LEDs will light up and make the woofers look pretty. So yeah, there's that. Fernando is finishing up the fuse holder right now, getting that all zip tied up into place. He's already started on the mount. He's running the wire, the little 16 gauge wire for the switch, the factory switch. Those are all the factory switch wires are located here in this corner. We're using number 5, which I don't remember, it's like blue purple or purple blue or gray blue or orange with blue with orange maybe, I don't remember. But anyways, it's there. We just did a YouTube or Google search and all that information was right there to be had. Even us, yes, we use it. So all the wiring is tucked into this area here. The speakers and signal are farther in. The power is going to be out here because it's a nice big ugly 0 gauge. Right now the things we have left is we have the glove box back in, and this is your speaker here. So that is all set and ready to go. Got a zip tie we need to cut. But this is what's left. So as soon as we get that done, then we can start doing it. There is no amp pro for this because this is bass audio. So this is just high level. We're using their T harness. Actually, he bought the harness already built with RCAs on the end to go in the Mosconi from Sage over at Sounds Good Stereo. They sell a harness for this. I think it's the same one for the F-150. It's actually a pretty nice little harness. They dress it up for you, put a TR4 in it so you have remote turn on. It's pretty neat. They do a nice job on it. But yeah, so that's that. I stayed last night, got that all set and ready to go. But no, we're right now, it's like I said, we're just getting to the power wire point. I wanted to come on because we didn't have time to really talk about it yesterday, because it was just like go to get to this point. A lot of little things going on. Yeah, well, it's early now because we gotta move through the day, and later in the day the panel will be on, you won't be able to see it. So someone said CompuStar for the alarm. So hello. I'd go with Rockford T1 Shallow. It's just to get a better grill. Yes, the Rockford T1 Shallow does have the best grill for sure. There's no doubt about it. He wanted to go squares. I don't know. He already bought the box with the squares in it, so I personally feel like the box is way too small for what he's doing. There is not enough airspace in that box. So I don't have really high expectations of this doing tremendous amounts of bass, I think, but whatever. I mean, I like to be pleasantly surprised. Yes, it's a Flax 3-way set, sorry. So we have the mid bass and the kick, which I showed you, and then the MTI pieces here have the provisions for the 2.5 and the tweeter. We did have to make an adapter to actually fit the tweeter, so that was kind of interesting. Oh yeah, and then the custom grill. Yep, sorry. So we made, in the back it had the factory non-functioning subwoofer. That's a mouthful. And it had this grill over it. You have to go through quite a bit to get the back panel out, so we like to have just a quick service access on these. So we make, for this one, we made this grill here. So this whole piece, these 4 screws come out, and the whole grill will come out of the back, and we have this as an access to get to. So we made this trim, and then it bolts in. So there's a back piece to it, but you can kind of get an idea of how that all works. So yeah, once this will be so we can access all the little parts like USB and stuff like that if we need to, if we can't find a better place to put it. So that is our grill, and it's designed to match the car itself. So hello, hi, how you doing? If it doesn't work, we'll just pull the sub and use the airspace for more bass. Yeah, hey, you know. FX is more for aesthetics than performance while not taking as much room. Still curious what it will sound like. Yes, 100%. And that's what I feel the goal was here, is because obviously these guys love this thing. It is decked out with gray and orange, and I'm sure they go to like Bronco Club meetings and all that other fun stuff. So it does look cool. There's no question about it. You open it up and it's just like, you know, here we'll do the bam, you know, boom, bow. So yes, it's very, very nice looking. So yeah, I think it'll serve its purpose, which is all that matters. So they're individually chambered subwoofers. It's not a mono chamber box. That's probably the other thing. It probably should be. But no, they're individually chambered subwoofer enclosures. So I can't do that. And there again, don't care. It's not my box. I didn't design it. I'm just showing it to you guys. You know, whatever. You know, don't get involved. Don't sweat it. I mean, you can get involved if you want. I don't care. I'm just saying it's nothing I can do. I'm planning on getting an epicenter, but I have a question. If a song have low bass, it will boost the bass, right? But what about if the songs have too much bass? Will it? Yeah, it'll get out of control. Yes, it doesn't care if you. It'll do the same thing. So it's a sliding scale. So wherever you're at, if you have a song that has a ton of bass, you're going to get a ton more bass. If you have a song that has no bass, you'll get some bass. But yeah, it's all doesn't care. So you can take a song that has a ton of bass on it, and it'll just get even floppier. Hey, look, it's Morel. What's going on? Oh, I got the airspace yesterday so I can get the box built. But speaking of box building, over on Morel-America.com, if you'd like to see the new shallow mount 12-inch and an enclosure that looks very, very sexy. Junior and the boys over at Audio Systems in California had the pleasure of building a 212 sealed with plexi and all this other fun stuff box. It's super nice looking, but you can head over to morel-marriott.com and take a look at one of the first enclosures made for the new shallow mount Morel subwoofer. It's pretty cool, for sure. Fernando needs to put the Morel hat on. I don't think he can get to it right now. Dude, look, he's busy, you know? Let him do his thing. He's actually, you know, I need him to get done so I can get my part done. Not another question. Bigfoot, real or fake? Ooh. Bigfoot, real or fake? Bigfoot.
Uh-huh.
Not the monster truck. The actual, like, abominable snowman kind of guy. You know, the Yeti. Is it real or fake?
I'm gonna pick the Yeti.
Yeah, real or fake?
I think they're fake.
You think they're fake?
100%.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't matter. It's just
a
it's a government conspiracy. So Fernando's going with fake, and I would agree with him. I think it's very much fake also.
Yeah.
But I love to be proved wrong. I did 2 downfiring T10 W3s on an Audison SR 1500. Very impressed on the Bronco 2023. I bet that's yes, that would probably sound fantastic. Are they doing an Alpine Restyle kit for the Bronco? I'm sure that Alpine is probably going to make one because they do have their new subwoofer enclosure for the back door, which is usually the start of it all. So they have their new 12-inch, I think, that they've built a box for it. They had it at Knowledge Fest Vegas to show it off. Although I think they were trying to get way too much out of it because that was the car you did walk past and go, ooh, dial it back, guys. So I don't know if it made it through the weekend. Is the Epicenter dash mount kit worth it? An Epicenter, the half-din Epicenter of the dash, I'm not a fan. I think it's silly. To each his own, but I don't want that. I just want the knob from the Micro. That's all I need is volume and effects adjust. I just don't think a half-din looks good in a dash anymore. You know, there's really no place for it. Have an LC7i Pro from a factory gonna head unit thingy into an RF DSR1 into a 4-channel amp. I also have an Epicenter Pro. Do I about the and just got into this up. Okay, first things first. You don't need an LC7i to do a DSR1. DSR1 has high level built into it already. There's a switch on the side of it, so you just go directly out of your radio into the DSR1. There's absolutely no reason to put an LC7i Pro in there. Zero. As far as the Epicenter Micro goes, which, did you say it was a Micro or just an Epicenter? Epicenter Pro. You're just going to come out of the sub portion of it and do it there, or you can, yeah. So the one cool thing on a DSR1 is it has punch base. You can actually use the subwoofer level control from the punch base to control. You can program the knob for a DSR1 to do subwoofer level or punch base or system level. If it were me, I don't know if I'd use the Epicenter. Unless you're just listening to 80s music all the time and you want to get that back, because I like the way the punch bass sounds. It sounds more natural, but there again, it's not going to do what an Epicenter does. Just to me, I enjoy it more. I think it makes everything sound better. But you can use the knob. You can program the knob for the DSR1 to control punch bass. So either way, you have way too many pieces. Lose some of them. Thoughts about Audison? What kind of thoughts do you want? It's good stuff. It's great stuff. I own a bunch of it. I'm Bigfoot. Yes, you are, Bobby. There's no doubt about it. What's up, Mark? It's Justine taking a walk through the woods in his toe shoes. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Yeah. You got like a size 18 toe shoe, dude. You little... Oh, gosh. Now you guys are... How big is Bigfoot? You guys are funny. Dean loves bass boost. I do love bass boost. Ever run Kenwood 6992s with the kicker key 200.4? If so, how was it? Actually, we do that a lot. a lot of the times, those are what we're running. We're either doing the 6902s or the 6903s. Works fantastic. That's one of our go-to systems. 80s rock, zero bass, like Van Halen, Epicenter is a must. 100%. There again, 100%. Use 15 dBs of overlap for the subwoofer. I wouldn't do that. No. What is the difference between the dual knob and the two knob on the Epicenter Micro? So on the Epicenter Micro, you have this knob right here, which is ACR 4. It has this part of the knob, which is subwoofer level control, and this back piece of the knob is for effect. So this will do that. Now in the previous Epicenter, there was one knob, because it basically had the ACR2, which looks like this, and it was just effect, and then you'd have a second knob, which was for volume for whatever amplifier you're running. So this does both now, which is really nice. Any RCAs for a mono or two channel DSP amp, adding a sub to a 2021 XC5 with horrible factory roll-off, audio control LCI, is it fixing it? Well, no, an LCI isn't going to do anything. There's nothing to fix. LC2i Pro has AccuBass, which is designed for bass roll-off, but realistically, you have to look at the system. A lot of people can, especially in a 2021 CX5, it probably doesn't have bass roll-off. It probably has a high-pass crossover. So that's where an electrical RTA comes in. That's why we sell the IRTA2, which is our electrical RTA tester, so that you can see actually with your eyeballs what is going on, whether it's in fact bass roll-off or it is a high-pass EQ. There is a totally difference. We should do a video just showing those two things. What high-pass EQ looks like and what dynamic looks like. That's a good idea. I mean, I feel we've done it, but we've never just done it and labeled it that. Anyways, what you may want to look into is a key lock from Kicker. The key lock from Kicker has a DSP built into it that's capable of fixing a lot of the problems that you're going to have. So, especially if it is a active crossover or a static, as it were, crossover, then it will try to get as much bass back as possible. So that would be the better of the solutions for that. Do you think Bigfoot would like Arc over Alpine, or is he more of a Sony guy? I don't know how to answer that and be politically correct. Thought about Audison HV Venti. I mean, if you got the money, go for it. It's a beautiful amplifier. I mean, I wouldn't kick it out of bed ever. I just don't have $10,000 to spend on an amplifier. Bigfoot would do audio control, small subs due to the smaller footprint. Oh, wow. Good morning, fellas. How much to tune my set? It depends. Bigfoot is definitely a Sony guy. He stays away from the public like Sony. Oh, that was actually pretty good. He's probably from the Pacific Northwest. Oh, definitely. Let's see. You're welcome. I picked up an LC7i Pro for the AccuBass on the Epicenter. Question, I didn't know if the DSR1 would do something similar to the AccuBass. So AccuBass is only there to fix bass roll-off. So there again, you don't know if you actually have bass roll-off unless you can... What kind of car is that? I don't even remember anymore. But either way... you know... I mean, a lot of the times you guys overthink this stuff a lot.
I think what we have to make a video that says, before you buy in...
Well, no, I get why he bought it. He got it to try to fix bass roll-off.
No, I get it. But, like, for example, if you can get it, how do you know if you have bass roll-off?
Well, that's just it. How you're assuming it's bass roll-off, and it might not be. Right. So, especially now, in the last couple of years, that isn't the thing. They just don't even give you bass. They've gone away from dynamic and just go to boom, static crossover. Here you go. I get it. I get why you bought it. I would never do that because I have a DSP now, and I'm going to tune the car at the volume I plan on listening to it at, and it's just going to sound great there. And as I turn it down, what is happening from the factory actually works out okay. So Like, I'm not going to tune it with volume down at talking level. I'm going to tune it with the volume up where I want to play it, up, 25 range. So if it goes 30, I'm going to be at 25. It's going to be loud. I'm doing one speaker at a time. So I know that whatever is done at that point. Okay, so I'm going to set everything up, and as I turn the volume down, it's going to invert the problem. So the subwoofer will get louder at lower volumes because you've made it louder at higher volumes. However, that's not necessarily a problem because that's why we have loudness. Loudness is to make the bass more punchy at lower volumes, and that's what is happening. So it'll still have punchy bass at low volume. So it's not like you got to get rid of it. I would try it without it, because if you set it up properly, you're probably not even going to notice it's doing it, and the end result. So anything below that is going to be good. But like, we would never do that. In a million years, I would never do that.
No.
I don't drink coffee. The answer is yes, Dean. Oh, okay. The answer is always yes. Yes. Bigfoot is a customer of Stereo Kings. Jason is his favorite installer. I could see that. I could see that. Backup camera to go with Kenwood 0809. If you have the room, the high def camera that the Kenwood makes is really nice. However, it doesn't come with a lot of mounts, and it is bigger than usual. We like the Echo Master tag cams for pretty much everything we do. So 6x9 highs in the door. Okay. Morning, studs. Yeah. Us and Voce better than Hertz Milli Legends? No, not at all. They're different. It's a different sound. The Milli Legend is going to be more in your face, more just kick and punch and pizzazz and sizzle, whereas the Voce is going to be a little bit more subdued, a little bit more natural, a little bit more. Why would you get those? I would get the Milli Pros because I like it to be like, yeah. So I think plus the Milli Pro is, Milli Legend is a newer speaker. The Voces haven't been updated in years. Not that there's anything wrong with them. Most people like the way the Milli stuff sounds over the Voce. I burnt my MTX Terminator speaker dual sub. I replaced it with a Pioneer with their MTX enclosure, but I don't feel that it hit more than the MTX sub. Is the box too small or for the Pioneer sub? No, not necessarily. It's just they're different now. So there's going to be differences between the two. It could be the way that it's the way the subwoofers are designed, the efficiency of the subwoofers. Yes, the enclosure is going to have something to do with it, but not a lot. But you had a better sub in there that was built for the box. There's a lot of things, but yes, a 10 is not a 10, is not a 12, or a 12 is not a 12, but it's going to sound different. It is never going to sound the same unless you replace it with exactly the same thing. You could build a new box that's more spec'd towards the Pioneer, and that might get you back to where you were. Buy an RTA2 before buying any equipment. I'm not going to argue with that, Oscar. It's, everyone else is guessing. I love it. I think we got rid of the fake engine noise. Well, why don't you just test? Does it have fake engine noise? No. Does it have bass roll-off, or does it have dynamic EQ? I don't know. Which is the same thing. So that's why you need an electrical RTA. It's $250. You need an iPad. It's been a while, and you find it at dnftooldroid.com. It's been a while since we seen our boy Christian. Hope he's doing. I'm assuming he's got a new job now because he quit his other one. He's on here all the time. If you follow him on Facebook, you get to see pictures of him all the time smiling at you. So I would assume he's doing okay. That's just my guess, though. All right. Starting crossover point from Morel three-way setup in front doors. Don't know which model they are. No, none of those crossover points work for Morel. If you go to their website, you can download their spec sheet or look at their spec sheet, and they actually have crossover points right on their website. Morel is one of the only companies that will give you crossover points right on their website. And if that isn't enough, you can actually just call Casey and he'll quote them to you if you can get through to him, because he's a busy guy. But they actually publish their crossover points right on their website, so it makes it really easy. He only said he liked bass boost. Frank never expanded on anything for Epicenter Micro. I mean, what do I need to expand on? I answered like what the bass knob does. It's an Epicenter. It does everything an Epicenter does. Do I like an Epicenter? I would probably buy an Epicenter only because, unless I had a DSP that had something similar to an Epicenter. But if I had punch bass, I think I would be happy enough without it. I definitely just saw Bigfoot roll down the street. Morelk RS or Carbon, I don't know. You're gonna have to decide on that one on your own. That's spend your money. They're both great speakers, so they're different. Bass boost and Epicenter when setting up. So bass boost is a little easier as far as setting up a system, because bass boost is typically fixed, meaning when you're back adjusting it. So like if you have some form of peak light on the amplifier, you can work between gain and bass boost until you get to the point to where the two match, meaning it's almost like an EQ band with a light at the top telling you to stop. So everybody wants to play that 40 hertz test tone and just see what's working. I recommend, especially on something with that light, is that's cool, do it. But if you're going to do it that way, then make sure you're turning your bass boost up and getting the same effect. I like playing a dynamic track and just seeing where it's actually the light is coming on. But that's, but you do have to. Now, whereas an Epicenter, we're going to assume you're not playing something that has a ton of bass, so there is, and each song is different. That's why you have the knob to adjust it constantly. So tuning for an Epicenter, I would suggest whatever you're planning on doing, whether you're going to do 10 dBs of overlap or 5, take it down 5. So if you like to do 10, do 5. If you like to do 15, do 10. That way you have some leeway in there for the effect that the Epicenter is going to put on it. But there is no perfect gain setting that is going to be accurate every single time, because music isn't like that. So, if you're like, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have to learn to listen to your stereo and know what it can and can't do. That's it. I mean, that's the truth of it. What's wrong? I like it the other way. Just put a washer underneath it. Just put some washers underneath it. That'll. Or just notch this to get that out of there, because those aren't doing anything. That'd probably be a better move. Just notch it so it sits flat. Epicenter knob to both to 12 o'clock position. Just bust it off at 11. Just run it wide open all the time. Just kill it. Yeah, love it. Anyways, so this morning we came on because we're finishing up the Bronco. Fernando's finishing up mounting the fuse holder right here. We have majority of the car done. This side, driver's side, is all set. We have our MTI pods. We haven't snapped them down yet. We're going to do some polarity testing before we snap them down. The passenger kick is still off. He's finishing up the power wire underneath the hood. So as soon as he gets that done, I can connect this to my amplifier, get everything zip tied into place, and get all that done. Subwoofers are in place. The rear pods are in place. Amplifiers are in, fused, grounded. Ground points right there. Nice and convenient. So everything is all set and ready to go. We're going to jump back on this, and that's it. 2 quicker squares. Damn, I know. We're waiting to see how that's actually going to work. We didn't build the box. He bought it. So anyways, that's it for now. We'll talk to you later. Bye. I was looking at a video of us this morning, and it's funny how your hair has changed so much.
The whole face, dude.
Dude.
The other day I was watching some videos,
Did you have
5 years ago.
Like right here, what I call the parking lots? Yeah. It's just.
Life is rough, bro.
Life is rough. There's no doubt about it. The Bronco is done. That is why we were here early this morning. We wanted to show you guys what it actually looks like in the car. So, yeah, just anyone curious of our color choice, there you go. What did you think of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 5?
Yeah, 5. 5 turns. Yep. There's your yep. The blinking is the refresh rate on the camera, so that's has nothing to do. It's not actually blinking. I'm looking at it going, wait, what's it's the refresh rate?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this actually, what did you think? It pounds. Didn't mean to say it like that. Anyways, yeah, no, this thing gets down. Testament to the driver. The driver's pretty awesome, and it worked in this box. So
See what's this?
sorry about that. Yeah, it's World War. Seas now have a World War, so
That would be cool, right?
yeah, it would be cool. Anyways, yeah, so there they did. It just wanted to come on and tell you that this box actually did perform. I would love to play it for you. However, this phone is the only one paired to the vehicle right now, so I can't. So it's kind of a bummer. And when he put his sound in, he forgot to plug back in the USB in the center console, so we can't just USB in. But it's all back together. It's getting out of here. I'm pretty excited. I'm really for it to go.
Me too.
We'll come on. Better than expected. 100%. Because the tweeters have to. Alright, sorry about that pause. Apparently our Wi-Fi is doing stupid stuff today, so we just turned that off. Yeah, so anyways, what I was going to say, my only observation in the Bronco is everybody wants to do that 2.5, 3 in a tweeter up on the dash, and I think the 4-inch actually performs better as far as imaging and sound. With the windows up, it's real easy to get it to what you want to do. With the windows down, everything changes drastically. Whereas we didn't have that problem with the 4-inch. So I know everybody wants a 3-way set. If you're driving with the windows up, it's fantastic. But as soon as the windows go down, just because the 2.5s are in narrow and the tweeters are on the outside, it should be the opposite, but you can't do it that way just because of the way the hole is placed and I guess just all that nonsense. You could probably do it with Morel because they're skinnier. But nobody's putting Morels in those, which is sad because everyone should be putting Morels in there. But anyways, with that being said, the bass was surprisingly fantastic. So I was worried about that yesterday. It pounds and sounds really good. Next up is a Tundra, and the Tundra is going to be getting all of this. So another set of Mosconi 1s, 810, 1001. We're going to be doing some K2s. This is a la carte. So we're doing the a la carte K2s in there, which just means you can buy them per speaker. It doesn't come with a big passive crossover. So it sounds really good. Sounds really good. Jammed on it last night for about a half hour after I got done with the tune. And super, super cool. So, yeah. But no, so the Bronco's gone. Looked great. Hopefully he'll be here to pick it up a little later and get to go out there and demo it for him, see what he thinks. That's the most important thing. Doesn't really matter what I think. But doing Morel and Piccolo tweeters and a custom pod and the dash and a Bronco. Yeah, so like I said, I think the problem is with the way everyone's making those pods is you're putting the mid-range on the inside, and I think the mid-range needs to go on the outside. That's just, I'm there again, not a sound engineer, really don't know, but I feel when we did the 4-inch that was more off to the outside, it sounded better. So that's just my take. I don't know what those are. I don't. You guys are the ones that know all the numbers and stuff. It's a K2 3-inch, man, or 2.5 or whatever it is. But that's it. That's all we got. Fernando's getting ready to pull in the next. So we'll come back on a little later today, hopefully, and we'll show you what we got figured out on this. It's getting ground zero full baked potato and all that fun stuff going on it. So we got our work cut out for you, plus a bunch of speakers. So that's it. Look at that. It's a tight fit. It is a tight fit. And the lights are not flashing. That is just the refresh rate on the camera. So he's a pro. So there we go. We'll get this all squared away. And we'll talk to you guys a little later today. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Good day. Good late day. It's 6:30. Another late night here at the shop. Just finishing up, trying to get caught up on this Tundra that we're working on. It's going to be a really nice system. It's full Mosconi, full K2. Sound Tree was doing the full baked potato on the door. So Fernando got the two front doors covered today. So full ground zero. He's working on the door panels themselves now. I've been working on getting the K2s attached into where they have to go. And so to start out with, we have the mid-range that goes up in the dash. This is the style to where you do have to modify the dash to get this in, but as you can see, we have to get it down low so that the top will go back in. So the speaker's sitting under the bracket, so it goes down into the dash, and this allows us to have this room here for that speaker to move. Otherwise, if you were to do it the opposite way, it would definitely smack this bracket right here, which you don't want. So this allows us to move it down underneath, get it lower into the dash, and now the grill will clear, and we don't have to do anything silly for that. So that goes in, and this is a replica of the factory grill, with the exception of, you notice this one is longer, so we have to make our own holes. So we turn it, and then I extended this out so we would actually have something to screw it into. Oh yeah, so for the window, yes, definitely terrified about window. So what we did to cover the window, because not only does it make it worse, this is tinted. So we took the JK tape exterior, which is just basically static. It doesn't have glue and whatnot, or at least it does. It's just staticky. I mean, it might have some form of glue, I have no idea, but it's staticky as hell. And we attached that to the window so that we wouldn't have any problems, which was kind of nice. So it went right here, and then you just make sure to peel it from the center and not from down there. And plus, I believe the windshield's probably been tinted for a while, but that goes in, and then you have this guy that latches in from the back side, puts in, and then you can see it's not going to hit. Just pop it back into place. And that is a set of speakers. You already did that one, so those are done. The tweeters were fun because these are the bigger tweeters that come in the K2 set. So we actually came up with a whole brand new mounting system for these. So it's 2 pieces of acrylic, and as you can kind of see, let me put some light on that. As you can see, it attaches there. There's a washer between it to gap for the speaker. That's an M2 screw. And so what you're looking at is These two screws here on the bottom piece of acrylic are on one plane, and they are not on this back screw because the screws, the tweeter isn't level. It's kind of cockeyed in here, so we wanted to replicate that. So then on the front, in order to attach it together, all 3 screw holes are in, so it retains that off-balance look that the tweeter has, which is really cool. And then we put some foam in there, and then it lines up. Got that nice K2 tweeter up in there. Of course, took the grill off because double grill, no fun. So those are your tweeters. So those are done. And the last piece of the puzzle for me was these. So these are the brackets for the front door. Let's see, which one is this? This is the right one. So what we have is a quarter and 2 pieces of half. The top half is actually a quarter. And the reason for that is in the door right here, you have this piece that gets in the way, and then you have this bar right here. So you have this area right through here, and this bar comes out a lot. Like if you're trying to put a K2 and you're center the speaker, and it's going to hit this bar, and you're going to be very disappointed. The other thing too is that from here down, the door panel covers the grill. So really from here to here, this area is the actual grill, not this. So if you center it up, more than likely you're going to be out of grill range. So what we did is we off-centered it, which actually centered it up with the door panel, and then that allowed us to get right in the sweet spot, which is this area right here, and the window will roll up and down with no issues. And then of course it's countersunk into the door pod, or into this. Let's show you what that means. And then it's obviously screwed together, taped together. So this will go in like this and sit, and then it sits down in there nice and flush. We'll put some foam around this edge here, and that'll make it look like the factory. So this factory has this cool little foam, and it's inset, so we're trying to replicate that and get it as close into the door as possible. The one takeaway when you're stacking pieces of plastic like this, if you'll notice, it's an up, down, left, right. The speaker is not. So the speaker is the 45s, which is good. So when you go to add in your screws to screw it together, you want to make sure you do the opposite hole pattern, because you don't want to like put this in and then, screw right into your screw. And with these, I like to come from the front side for screws and then flip it over and come in from this angle. So what I do is I just turn it a couple degrees so that it is no longer, but it's not going to get in the way of this guy. So like if you come from the back, you're still good. You don't have to worry about it getting in the way of your screws. So what you'll end up with is three screws going through this, and none of them are going to be tapping into one another. So that's a pretty cool tip. And then that'll just sit like that on the door. But yeah, so we have this. Joy's being blind. We have the 3 speakers pods fabricated and done. He's finishing up the sound treatment. The rears are just getting the Focal plug and plays. So we don't have to do anything for that. Just gonna bolt into place and be nice and easy. And then we're getting the Mosconi 8-10 and the 8-10, the 1001. We go in there for that. These are the factories, little ugly things. Love the pink foam on the workbench. Real men. Actually, so believe it or not, the pink was cheaper, which is weird because usually pink stuff and female stuff costs more. But the reason why we picked this color is because black or anything like that tends to wash in. So like I keep losing this because it's black and it just matches everything. So I always try to find stuff. I don't care if it's pink or not. It doesn't mean anything to me. But yeah, so Fernando has the same one because it's easy to see, like in this mess of everything. Boom. Now the problem is when I don't put my phone on it, I can't find my phone, even though my phone is red. I always lose my phone. Do you have deals on those Mosconis or something? No, it's just people want really nice stuff. Not everyone, I mean, you know. But no, there's no deals. It's just what it is, you know. Guys, I guess I had a good week that week when I was talking to these people, or it just kind of worked out that they came in at the same time. But I mean, you know, you got to decide what you want, and you know, a lot of there again. The Bronco left, got a demo it for him. Loved the way it sounded. Started talking to him a little bit about it. You know, he's been saving for that system for like the last 6 months to a year, I think. So it wasn't like it just happened. I don't even remember when I talked to him, but it was probably sometime around the first of the year. So, you know, he's been collecting all his products, got them all in there, got all the little parts, and then it was time to do it. This guy's totally different. This guy just came in, we quoted him out, he waited the time, he showed up, and we're putting all the stuff in. So everyone's a little different, but, you know, do you think Bigfoot will fit in the Tundra? Oh, hell yeah, Tundra's got tons of room, bro. I mean, these things are massive. Like, dude, there's a ton of room in this. I mean, it's like, you know, it's not, look at this door. This door is gigantic, you know, like that's a 5-gallon bucket. Look how giant, that thing is huge. So yeah, I think Bigfoot get in there, no problem, man. Not a problem. Kicker down for iron 10-inch with a CXA 650.5. Is that good pair for an Alpine ILX 509? Yeah. Yeah, that would work. I mean, if you already have the CXA 660.5, yay. If you don't have it, for about the same amount of money, you can get into the Kenwood 8 or 901.5. It's more power to the sub. You're not going to need it, though. Actually, you could probably do it with the... Nah, that's fine. Stick with it. So, interesting thing. The CXA... What makes it unique is that it has... Okay, so there's different styles of amplifiers, and they're important because of where you have to put them. So if you have tons of room, great, do whatever you want. If you don't have tons of room, you really got to kind of pay attention to what you're dealing with. So for example, like if we look at this audio control here, it has all of the wires coming off this way. So if this is going to go across the top or go to the back or something like that, or you need to put another amplifier in like this, you have plenty of room to do that, as opposed to something like this, a little bit more compact, but the wires go this way and that way. So like underneath a seat or something, this may cause a problem if it's a longer amplifier, just because your seat rails would be here and here. However, like in an F-150, there's a little cargo. Sorry about that. Dropped my phone. Anyways, as I was saying, like in an F-150, there's a little cargo area, and like that amp would fit perfect in the cargo area, and the wires would go out to either side. So the kicker is just like that. So anytime, you know, we need something that's going to go this way, we look at the kickers. But what's funny is like you look at the old school amplifiers, and these come out of the top. So they offered both in their lineup depending on what you're trying to do. Like Rockfords come out this way, Sound Digital come out that way. The old Macintosh comes out this way and that way. And then like Rockford has the mini T amplifiers that have pigtails that come out of the amp, or you hook them up left and right. Mosconi's, so if you look at like the Atomo series to left and right, actually I think it's left and right. Yeah. And then if you look at like the ones, they're left and right. So you have, you know, left and right. But then if you look at a Pro is all one thing with the heat across the top. So it really depends on the line. But that's important to think about when choosing an amplifier, depending on where you're going to put it. If I had to pick one Focal or one Morel 8-inch bass, I honestly don't think Focal. They have 8-inch mid bass the integration line, which is very similar to the Morel, which is right there. As far as price and whatnot, if you like, tweeters that are just like cutting glass, yay, full cow. If you want something a little smoother, Morel. It's always the same. So the radio reception on a Tundra is bad. What do you recommend? Just use your phone and use like iHeartRadio or something like that. I don't really listen to the radio much anymore, and when I do, it's just like talk radio. Just because I just need like background noise, and music is, when you listen to the same 10 songs, and then it's like, what's up, Lance? Bass tube or sub, what do you think would be better in a Jeep? Not a bass tube. Definitely don't get a bass tube. If you don't do the thing that's attached to the back door, then I would look for something downfiring to go in there. There's a bunch of companies out there that make like a rhino-lined version of downfiring 10 or 12. If you're going to be exposed to the elements so that you don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, Kicker has a really nice downfiring. Alpine has a new downfiring box. It's really expensive. But yeah, I definitely do something like that. Boy, broken phone. Nah, it's, my case is crap. The screen's got 10,000 cracks in it already, so it's not like it matters. You should have used the pink stand and the phone wouldn't have popped. Are you doing Knowledge Fest Nashville? We will not be at Knowledge Fest Nashville. I have a family event that weekend. So, they took so long to figure out when things were going to be. Haley booked me out long before that. So, I'll be doing family stuff. Live from Disneyland. What's up, Bobby? Dean, do you know if anyone within reasonable driving distance of... No. I don't even know. We're South Dakota. I'm guessing it's SD, South Dakota. Wow. Man. I don't even know who the rep there is. It used to be Steve Rogers. But he works for Lucas Little. He owns Lucas Lighting now. So, I don't know anybody up that far. That's a good question. Do you guys have a platform to pick your brain on installs? Not really. Yeah, I know. Just it's a time thing. Utopia 8-inch mid-bass. Okay, way to really take it that far, Mike. I mean, that's yes. I mean, in that case, you got your 8-inch mid-bass, the late 8-inch mid-bass. That's actually as a 9-inch. So if we're gonna go Morel versus that, Mike, do you know anybody in South Dakota? Tweak those Morel speakers. Tweaked the Morel speakers. Asked about yesterday. I'm in love with the mids. Very nice. Very nice. When you say tweaked, I was thinking tweak I tweaked my back. That kind of thing. Not like tweaking. Yeah, I know. Daniel Mount is in that area. He is the rep. Maybe look for Daniel Mount. There you go. That'll help. Talk radio for the win. Right? It's funny. I'm sure a lot of guys listen to that podcast. I can't seem to get the bass restoration of on 2000 thing tip. Okay, so what do you mean by restoration? More information. You're trying to shut off like the ANC, which is the fake noise that they pipe in, or you're just trying to like an epicenter. So let me know what you're talking about there, Oliver. Linkswell coming for Mustang. No, not as of right now. That's really a sad thing. Yeah. Although I was very proud of Fernando how he handled the situation. It's not to say never. Right now, the answer is no on the Linkswell thing. We'll see. Who knows? You never know. I never say never, so there's a possibility. Yeah, there again, Daniel Mount, the rep in South Dakota. There you go. So find him here on Instagram. Jennifer's birthday today. We're at Disney. Happy birthday, Jennifer. Really nice. We hung out with Bobby when we were there in California for one time. Can I use audio control RTA software for acoustic tuning without audio control hardware? Mic plugged in the laptop. Nope. Now, it's a two-way communication, so when you plug it in, it automatically recognizes itself. However, you know, you have REW, which is free. I'm not going to tell you it's easy to use, but you have REW. On an iPad, then you can use the Studio 6 RTA app, which is fantastic. But you can have a newer iPad with USB-C. You just plug that right into the iPad and play that. And then, you know, if you should have a long enough cable, you literally take the iPad and mount it. Just get one of those kits or tape it right here to the window so that you can see it through the window. If your cable is short, if your cable is long, just like hang it on the outside or put a table right up next to the car. But yeah, you can totally do that with the iPad. I know you probably, I'm an Android guy. That's what they always say. This is the platform. Yes, for asking questions. Yes, yes, on the AC can be used for other brands. Okay, you're on for that. I have no idea. Let me know. I've never tried it. What's budget friendly for channel amplifier that can go under the seat car? How many channels you're looking at? Typically, when we're doing budget friendly stuff, look at Kicker or Kenwood. Kenwood Exelon, very budget friendly. Epicenter. Okay, so the Mustang, it's the Epicenter. Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, looking at the picture. You know, I really don't have a good answer for you as far as like trying to dial Epicenter. It like one of those I personally feel you get Epicenter because you want to screw with it. If you don't want to screw with it, 12 o'clock the board with the effect up about, you know, anywhere from a quarter and a half. They just kind of leave it and it just kind of does its thing. Sometimes, you know, some music sound great, other music is going to sound like but typically the best results that we've ever gotten are if you're looking at these two knobs right here, which are the same. It's 12 o'clock. This default setting right here. If you go back and watch any so if you go to the YouTube and you look up Epicenter Micro, we actually connect the electrical PA to it and show you what it's doing, so you kind of get an idea of how it is affecting the sound. But they're visually just nice as a reference to figure out how it's working. But the effect it's having inside the car is going to be totally different. It can be like crazy. Best unit out there, right? Best head unit out there, right behind you. Well, it is. The Kenwood 1057 XR is probably have the best set of features, but it's a floating screen. It has a knob. You can get into the JVC version of the Z100 1000W. Integration-wise, the high 10 is pretty nice. Stinger makes really a bunch of those. I put 958 from Kenwood, but you can also do budget with a lot of features. Sony 4000. Going home. It's go home. I just need to finish these pods, so tomorrow morning when Fernando gets here, and start putting the mid bass in order to be done with it. So use the Center Micro with a stock head unit works, but the bass restoration effect does nothing. That's not. No, there's no way. There's no way. It have to, unless the Epicenter Micro is broken, because it's doing way too much. I mean, yeah, there's got to be something wrong, because there's never a case on a factory radio that the epicenter micro wouldn't do something. Yes, unless like a factory subwoofer output, then you might have an issue there, because factory subwoofer output is going to be crossed over, and it's going to be crossed over low, and so the epicenter will not be getting enough signal in order for it to create that effect. So remember, you have to have at a minimum, a flat up to you have to have at least 160 and below in order for an epicenter to function adequately enough. So if you connected it to a factory subwoofer output, then it's not going to function right. That would definitely cause the problem. Are you doing video series on the because we have a tundra video, and also we're kind of this week rough. It's like 2 cars back to this one's got out by Saturday at 5. So I don't know if I'll be staying tomorrow night, because typically what we like to do is come in Saturday and tune it. So we got a lot of work to do. Today was a hectic day. A lot of things went on. I designed new tweeter pods for this because it's the bigger focal tweeter. So a lot of time went into designing that. And then my laser wasn't functioning the way I was hoping. So, but the tweeters turned out really, really nice. They bolt right into place. It's pretty cool. So, premium head unit with the factory amp 2015 Mustang 5.0. Yeah, so you connect it to the factory subwoofer. Yeah, it's going to be tough. The epicenter's not going to be getting enough signal to actually do some of the epicenter effect. Yeah. That's so 2015 Mustang, if it has the factory premium audio, you may want to catch the low level output behind radio. So at the radio, like not at the amplifier, there should be a full frequency output that goes into the factory amps. And if you grab that signal, then which will go right into the epicenter. The only problem might be is that it might not have enough signal, but that would be what you'd want to do for the Mustang to work properly, is grab that signal. So go before the amplifier, and then your epicenter will work and do all kinds of crazy bass noise. And you can just turn the gain up on the amplifier if it's too low of a signal. But yeah, that's definitely no. I mean, you're just not getting enough signal to it. If you came out of the factory sub, it's just not gonna work. Can you tune a set of yes? Okay. Did you have to up the battery in the Tundra for the new system? What's the impact? No, believe it or not, these pickup trucks, that's why I love working on trucks, because they handle, like, they're good to go, man. And there again, we're not doing 5Ks and 3Ks and stuff like that in these things. So, crossing current? Yeah. Very, very, very rarely do we have any voltage issues in the regular music, which is what these guys do. I mean, these do skinny 10s, 12s behind the back seats. Yeah, so those are crossed over. You can't use those. So you need to go into, like I said, you need to go behind the radio and grab the signal there, or grab it at the input of the amplifier. Either one will give you, especially if you grab the rear speakers, they're going to be crossed over the other way. So either way, you don't have enough signal to let the epicenter do what it's trying to do. Do you 3D print everything? Right now, we're not 3D printing a lot of anything. We have it. We've used it a couple times. I tasked Fernando with it, and he got with life, trying to buy a new car and all this other crap. So now everything's kind of falling behind with 3 shows back to back. So my list of things to do. Is it worth figuring out how to bypass that. Yes, you definitely have to get the signal before. Best way to check the signal that the amplifier is getting. Without an electrical RTA, there is no good way to do it. So you'd have to have an electrical RTA. That's why we make the IRTA too, which is more than you spend on the, it's like $250. So chances are good you're not going to buy that to fix this. However, if you're an installer, it's totally worth buying because then you can see the electrical input into the amplifier. And that's the tool you need, is something that can look at it. The other way is the only other way you can do it is you need a graph. So the way to do it, and become a very painstaking, you're going to have your own RTA. And basically you're using graph paper, and you're going to play each band up to about 160 through a tone generator, and just write the number on a piece of paper until you get to the highest number, and that's going to show you what's going on. It's a pain in the ass. It's not even realistic how you do it, but that would be the only way to figure that out without an electrical RTA. So, yeah, there's that. Dean got a haircut. I gave myself a haircut this afternoon. Yep. Way nicer. I feel better. Yeah, it was getting out of control, man. The test video will be sometime probably next month, sometime in April. It's in the queue. We got to get through for Jeep install. Then I know it's kind of weird if we do 2 installs back to back. We might. 2 plug and play systems. I don't see why we wouldn't, because you guys are really wanting to see it, so it'll probably be next. I don't know if it's next, so I can confidently get to the back of the radio. If you can get to the back of the radio, then the signal coming out of the radio going off to the amplifiers will be full range. So, there is a plug and play harness for that you can get from PAC. It's the same harness whether it's amplified or unamplified. So you can go to pac-audio.com and buy the harness for it. It's real easy. So I definitely do that. For sure. Yeah, I know what happened. I get it. It's a pain in the ass. That's why I have a real RTA. Anyways, that's what we got going on. I said I'd come back, show you what's going on in the Tundra, to give you an update, because I know by the time this time tomorrow, doors will all be on, the pods will all be done. He's at home. pac-audio.com. Yeah, that is where you can go. You type in your make, model, and year, and they'll list all the parts. One of them will be a LPG or something like that. FD harness of some kind. It's a T harness. If you don't want to just tap the wire, you can get a T harness, but that's up to you. We were talking T harnesses for. Yeah, we talked about it last Saturday. Keep you have a wonderful day. I'm home and more. See you guys tomorrow. But I could just do it all in the one thing.
You know what we need?
Yeah, need one of those?
Need one of those.
Yeah. I know.
Locking order and stuff like this.
Yep. I'll add it to the list. I know, I suck.
I saw it.
What did you see? Oh, El Toro Loco?
Yeah.
El Toro Loco! Yeah, you gotta do it right.
Good.
Yeah.
We missed that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know. Upward fishing? He said upward fishing. When you're pulling the thing, upward fishing. Yeah. Anyways, the Tundra is done. We just got it all buttoned up, finished, final listen. There's 2 fuse holders in this car, and we'll explain that. Mike, we were just talking about you.
Yeah. Not a good thing.
Okay, we weren't talking about you specifically. We were talking about the Mosconi Pro.
Experience.
No, what is it? Pros, right?
Yeah,
we're talking about the Mosconi Pro speakers.
Big Gladen speakers.
Yeah. Afternoon, guys. How did the Tesla sound? It was okay. It was good. It was better.
Hey, listen. Don't listen.
That was good. Yeah. I mean, we'll get into that. We kind of give you the after action report in the video that you guys will see soon enough. Anyways, these are the 2 fuse holders, and they're labeled. So this is the 8 to 10 DSP. This is the 1001. The reason why we had to go with 2 fuse holders is because I already have the seat staged. We had to put the 1001 here, and you know what? Hang on. I just clipped my nails last night, so this is going to be difficult. Whoa, that got ugly.
Want a light?
Yeah, sure. There we go. Ooh, all right, so there's the mono. There's the mono sub amp. And then let's go around to the other side. I know, right? Frozen dirt? Yeah. Well, isn't that permafrost, though? I mean, it could be the Toyota permafrost. That would be fun. And then here is the 810. Let's get this other blue thing off of here. Ooh, look at that. Okay, cool. So this is the DSP amp. Oh, yeah. So then that goes around to the front. RCA's go. So and it has an Alpine head unit. So that's, I don't know, it's either 509 or 5010, or I think it's the 10. Might be the 13. Either way, that's the Alpine. So 6 RCA's come out of there. Down into this, the 1 RC out of this goes over here to that. So what you end up with is 2 amplifiers that are identical in size, which is pleasing to the brain. 2 amp racks that are identical, just opposite, tucked up underneath the seats. They're on 1/2-inch clear acrylic risers that you can't see, but right here, as you can see, I fit my finger underneath it. So we've raised the amps up off the floor. So life is good there. Do you ever go behind the seat in the Tundras? Would you in an F-150? No, we don't go behind the seat in the Tundras specifically because like it has this hump here, and what's behind the seat is the subwoofer. So there's your one subwoofer there, there's the box, and there is the other. So in this one, unlike the F-150, which everyone would love in the F-150, we fit 2 Rockford P312s with grills. So that's why we don't go, we can't. Now, some people, so there's, how this works in this vehicle is there's a giant metal brace that goes out to here. It's like up to here. And there's one there, there's one there, and there's 2 more here. So between those, so what this is that you're feeling is there's a giant piece of foam right here. So in some cases, people will cut these out and they'll flush the amplifiers in here. Looks like crap usually, because you can't go over the brace. So you try, and anyway, it's just a nightmare. What is cooler is there is a couple lock boxes that you can buy for this. That's cool because that gets back a lot of that wasted space. So I would recommend doing that as opposed to anything. But the nice thing is the factory amplifier is right here on these. So there is the factory amp goes right here, and iData makes the interface plug for it. It's pinned wrong, but it's, yeah, anyways. It's not pinned wrong, it's just not pinned the right color, so we unpin it, repin it so the colors all match. They have a hierarchy of what, the color doesn't mean anything to them. They just have numbers. For me, I'm a visual guy, so I want my colors to match. And usually what happens is everybody's like that. iData's like that, or PAC is like that, Metra is like that. It's whatever car they're doing the testing on, that's what they'll pin the wires for. And then if Toyota makes it different, which they usually do, then they'll just change the number and give you a bar graph, a side note that says for this car use pin 12 for 1 and pin 6, yada yada, so on and so forth. But the nice thing is this amplifier just plugs in. So you come out of this harness here, and there's a plug that sits right here, and you just go click and you're done. Now we do have to run 2 new wires up for the mid-range and the dash, but those also plug in. No, they don't have wrong pin colors. Yes, they do have wrong pin colors. It happens all the time. You know that, Mike. You're being silly. Because all right, so there's a piece of shrink wrap on there that says like 1, and then the color could be green, which I can't deal with because green is 3. So, and the plug is easy enough to unpin and refix. Most of these plugs are. I'm just really picky when it comes to that kind of thing. So, we all know that. Anyways, the most important thing is that there's a harness, because like I had one of these come in yesterday that somebody did, and they want to do some upgrades to it, and they cut the harness, and I'm just like, why would they cut the harness? It's a $10, $15, I don't know, $20 harness. So came in late, have to do 8 to 10. Came in late. Do you have the 8 to 10 wired to speaker channels? Yeah, so one of the interesting things about the 8 to 10 and the 6 to 8, we'll talk about the 8 to 10 because this week we've done 2 of them, so you guys have seen them all week, is that it's a 10-channel DSP. It's an 8-channel amplifier. And they break it up a little bit different. And it makes total sense when you're looking at it in the software. However, you have to get to that point to where it makes the most sense. So channels 1 through 6 are in the right order. So it's 1 and 2 are tweeters, 3 and 4 are mid-range, 5 and 6 are the front mid-bass. 7 and 8 are your RCA outputs. Those are going to go to subwoofer. And then 8 and 9 are powered channels in the amplifier, and those are your rear speakers if you're doing that. When you're setting it up, you have your input setup, which is front, rear, sub. Easy enough. And then you route the channels. So channel 1 will ask you, what do you want it to be? You want it to be front, so you label it front. The next set down, the next pair down, you'd say front because those are the mid-range. Next pair down, you'd say front because those are the mid-bass. The next pair down is 7 and 8. You say subwoofer, and it automatically moves it to the bottom of the page because it knows it's a subwoofer. And they figured out that we can't go front, sub, rear. So it actually will just take this in the software. It moves it to the bottom of the page. You no longer have to pay attention to the numbers. Once it's done, everything else in the program visually is set up for that. So it's kind of setup can be, you're like, oh, what am I doing? But everything else, like when you're setting up your time alignment, you don't set it up weird. It just automatically, it knows what you're doing. So it sets it up accordingly, which is kind of cool, right? Anyways. Yeah, exactly. It works. And like I said, that's all that matters. As long as we have a T-harness, that's what we care about. Get what you get and don't throw a fit. It's what my daughter always says. Mine too. What sounds better? Kenwood Exelon amplifiers versus Pioneer? I'll take the Kenwood every day. Have you put sorcerers to raise my Mosconi DSP, but the Forza died? I saw where your Forza died. Want to buy a new one? I have JVC radio. My steering wheel volume goes down, but not up. Any ideas? Depends on the interface that you're using, naturally, and it also depends on the year of the car. A lot of the times, if it's like a 10-year-old vehicle, those buttons are wore out and they don't always work. Depending on the interface you use, it may not be programmed properly. So, like, for example, you can go back in some of the pack modules and manually reprogram it in. So if there's been some kind of drift in the number that it's looking for, you can tell it to look for this. You can, when you're programming it, it'll go like volume up, and you press the button, it go volume down, and you press the button, kind of like programming remote control at home. Metra is auto detect, so it just, like, sometimes you have to hit a button, other times it just knows what it's looking for. iData, which to me is the easiest, is when you're setting the unit up, you're in the laptop, you're going to get the most current firmware version, but you also tell it what each button is going to do. So there's no more learning past that. So there are a couple things, and it just depends on what module you're using. Add group color for visual pleasure. Yes, of course. Always group. Group is the best. No. Do you prefer the Mosconi, or would you rather have the new Audison Forza or Audio-Tech Fisher DSP amps? I like the Mosconi. I really do. Let's just put it like this. There's no perfect DSP and there's no perfect DSP amplifier. Each one of them have something that is annoying, and each one of them have something that is great. The 4 DSP amplifiers in my mind that are the most important right now is the Audison, it is the Helix, it's the Arc Audio, and it's the Mosconi. Those 4 processors out there, they have the most sophisticated software between the 4 of them to do pretty much anything we need to do in a vehicle, whether we're integrating into a factory radio or we're going with an aftermarket radio. They all have tools for us to deal with that. After that, it's just personal preference. Who do you think builds the best product? Or which one do you like? So,
Mine.
Yours?
Mine is the best.
Just 430. But you understand what I'm saying? So there's those 4 products, and then there's everything else. And there again, those would be the best. So then there's medium DSPs, and then there's entry-level DSPs. So it would just be trading one thing for the other in the case of Now, the one thing about the Mosconis that again, like I said, each one of them have unique features. The one thing about the Mosconi Pro line, the one line, is that these are AB class high amplifiers. 1,000 watt is a D, because it should be. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. But the 8 to 10 is an AB class amplifier. Just like the Pros are also AB class amplifiers. And in the case of the 430, it's what's called AAB, because it actually uses the slide technology, as Nick likes to call it, that takes it from A and adjusts the bias in whatever, some magical way, to AB. Not an engineer, so I can't explain it properly. But so that is kind of the difference. Like, Audison doesn't do that. Audison is Class D of some kind. Arc is Class D of some kind. Helix is full-on Class D, chip stuff, I guess. But the point is that, in this case, the goal was, we give him the option, what are you looking to do, and what. So he has a full K2 system, which, by the way, we were talking about this at the beginning of before we came on. Have you ever did time alignment without DSP with gain only? You'd have to have an active gain on every channel in order to do that. So you'd have to have a gain for the tweeter, gain for the mid-range, gain for both. So you'd have to have dual gain pods. So off the top of my head, the only amp I know that would have dual gain pods that we sell is the Morel limited edition MPS 2.150. I'm reading the box. It's on the wall over there. That has a left and right gain control. So I can physically go in and turn things up and down if I need to. The only other way would be to have some form of a DSP with level control. So that's where that kind of falls into place there. I have the Aero 3-way if anyone is interested. Oh, yeah, you're getting rid of those, huh? Any new videos on the mobile lab coming? We'll get to that tonight. As far as the lab stuff goes, we'll talk about that tonight at 5 o'clock on YouTube when we go live. I don't want to give too much away. We're going to come back to the K2s in a second. Mosconi, Forza, and Helix. No, definitely no bad choices. The Helix, you can't bridge on the DS. No, Helix amps cannot bridge. Like I said, there's good and bad with everything. Shark Heart. Oh, yes. I do my own hair. 40 degrees here and snowing. Oh, Jesus. Man, it's that time of the year, Bobby. I didn't get the California snow pick like you sent me last year. Hope you're better than me. Okay, so we were talking this morning about K2s. Like in the G35, the previous lab that is no longer exists, the last speaker to be in it that you guys didn't see us change out to was the K2s, because he did it while I was gone, and he just came up on the weekend, put him in because he wanted to hear him, and we didn't film it. I didn't even know he was doing it. It's so, plus he's a big K2 fan, so why would you not? But the unique thing, like we always say, you can't understand K2 until you hear K2, okay? And the Bronco we did this week, he asked me, you know, is the K2 that much better than the Flax? And I said, you know, hey, don't regret your purchase, because why would you? Flax are amazing sounding. There are some people out there, I know Fro said that, oh, he likes the way the Flax sounds over the K2s, which I, of course, said, you're insane. And to go from a Flax to a K2 is double the money, okay? So it's not like it's like, oh, for $100 more or $200 more. No, it's double the money. So it's like, you know, if you're paying $1,200, you're now paying $2,400. It's insane. However, everybody, all of you guys, want K2. You don't know it, but you want K2 because you want loud, insanely clear, crisp, just like and sound amazing. Like that's what you want. So you want K2. It's like I don't know how to explain that. You'll never hear it unless you hear it in a car. So save your money and buy the K2s. That's just it. You know. I don't know any other way to say that. Are the comparisons to Forza to the new Pico 2s? So the new Pico 2s, that's the Mosconi, have a new amplifier circuit built into them. There are a lot of differences between the previous Picos and the current Picos that are coming out. I don't know all of those things yet because we got to hold one and they look really nice. They're black now. It's a black top, which is like the whole amp I think was black, and it says Pico on it, like a big, like it's really neat how they did it. But I don't know everything that is different. We haven't gotten the here's what's cool. And I tried to get them to give me the one they had, but it was the only one they had, so they're like, no. And I was like, you guys suck. 86 today and sunny. Tomorrow is rain. Oh, wet Easter bunnies. I have church service tonight, so I will miss the show. Hey, that's okay, but thanks for telling us, so we know we have to keep track of the time. This is going to keep time when... Okay, yeah, yep. So just drive in, Christian. You can sit in the back. Sue's car is a new mobile app. No. Stay tuned for tonight. Tonight at 5 o'clock, we'll talk about the future of the lab. Dang, I wish my car could make it to lab one day, someday. No, you keep doing weird things. Everyone, hi. I like the K2s and I like the Morales. Well, you can like both. You don't have to like.
Oh, I love the hybrids.
Yeah, you know? I mean, you can like more than one thing. I'm just telling you. 100%. For what you guys all come in and ask for, K2 is your answer. Yeah. The K2 mid is really nice. The tweeter is detailed, not bright to me. Like I said, K2 has literally K2s, or we're talking Kevlars, and what speaker, 3-way or 2-way? We're talking Kevlars, Mike. It says on the box, K2s. I mean, you know, come on, it's a Kevlar. Yes, the yellow speakers that you sell. Also active or passive. As far as 2-way or 3-way, don't really care. This has a 3-way, so yay. Passive, no. Active, yes. Every speaker that comes with this price tag has to be active. You know, if you're buying a $2,400 set of speakers and you're going to set it up passive, I totally understand. Why you might do it. However,
you limit it.
You're limiting the ability to really get the most out of that speaker.
Of the speaker, correct. The performance of that speaker, yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're doing an active passive scenario, which is fine, you know, because a lot of cars that's what you got to do. At least you still have some control there. So you know you have options. K2 or the Audio Frog GB line. They're not the same. It's what I'm saying. You guys always ask to compare things. It's not the same, okay? Audio Frogs are amazing. The GB60s are phenomenal. Love that stuff. I love Morel. We all know this. There's a lot of things I love. I'm telling you, as a consumer, the speaker you want is the K2, because you want to get in your car and you want to light this bitch up. And that's what they do. And they just sound so good doing it. You know. The new Pico 2 looks awesome in black. It does. We held them. I said, oh, look, it's black. Audio Frog GB for the win. but
GB60s
I am biased.
are a monster. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And there again, it's not a win or a lose. These are not win or lose questions.
No.
I recognize the avatar, Frank, but so excited to order some GB60s for my Tundra. LOL. Those GB tweeters are so amazing. They are. Trust me.
100%.
I would put my car. Yeah, I'd be doing some audio frogs or some rails, 100%. But there again, most of you guys out there, the first thing I say is, what do you guys listen to? And they're like, what? I can't hear. I want it loud. So you get it loud. One other thing that we did on this, which was a little different that we tried, we haven't done this in a while. Like, for a while there, it seemed like every car was getting branded like speaker grill labels. And we kind of stopped doing that for a while just because it seems like it's not a work, but it is a lot of work. And I don't know. It was a thing for a minute. But the problem with it was I just really didn't like the way we had to do it, like the method we came up with. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, so we kind of stopped for a little bit. And like everything else, that I try to let things process in the back of my head and eventually come up with a better solution at some point. So this car got the first of those. And there again, this is a first attempt. So he took the JBL thing off there, the K2, you can see it, took the JBL logo off, and we have what looks like the same logo that we've had in the past. It is thicker now, though. We went with 1/4 inch. And it's buffed and sanded and painted. So we painted the Morel logo on the inside. We painted the two flat black, so it has mirror just on the surface, but flat black on the sides and the logo itself. But what's unique about it is this one actually now can screw in. So instead of before, we used to put like pins on them like the factory does, and we'd bend the pins just like the factory does. The problem was I just, whatever. I didn't like it. But this, we were able to put an M2 bolt into the back screw, thermal nutsert, because they're so microscopic, and attach it to the door that way. Now, for some of you going, I don't know what you're talking about. Hang on. Get this out of the way here. So these are thermal nutserts, and somewhere in here, here we go. So these are little tiny, and these are actually the bigger ones that we have. We have ones that are smaller than these, which is what we're looking for. We want to be super, super thin. So it's like an eighth of an inch thin, which makes it perfect for going into 1/4 inch acrylic. So it's actually 6 millimeter acrylic. Yeah, so they're 3 millimeter inserts, and then it's a 2 millimeter screw. So really tiny stuff, but we're super excited about that. So, oh, for newbies, the lab is not a dog. Oh, that's funny. The GB tweeters have great off-axis performance. I have mine on tail panels. There you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Come on, Mike, send them a Pico 2. Mike is not the person to ask for us to get a Pico 2 from. Mike is at the mercy of everybody else. So, any clips only on front speakers, replacement amp. The speaker still does it. Is there a way to check wires without pulling them out? Not in a car easily, because you don't need to pull the wires out. You just need to have a impedance, your digital multimeter. You can put an end on one end and an end on the other end and check the impedance between the two and start wiggling stuff, and or do the noise, beep, check for continuity. And while you're doing a continuity check, like open and close doors and see if you lose continuity, would be how we would start doing it before we start pulling the whole thing apart. Is you want to check continuity. So red on one end, black on the other, and go to town. Fernando, say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, K2, the mid bass is a 2 ohm. Oh, that's a good question. What are your thoughts on smoothing effect a passive crossover has, even bi-amped? Honestly, I've never put any thought into that. Not once. And the reason for that is that it's never really come up, because of the way I just think of things. They're tools. So whatever I need to do to get the job done is what I'm going to use. So if it's got to be passive, it's passive. I just make the passive sound the best that they can. If I have the ability to go active, there again, I'm going to try to make them sound the best that I can. Yeah. And the problem is, like, the other thing too is, like, you know, like if we did a Tundra that was passive and a Tundra that was active and we could hear those within the same time frame, then you may be able to tell the difference. But, you know, we did a Bronco with Evo on the first part of the week. We're doing a Tundra with Kevlar at the end of the week. It's two totally different sounding platforms that it's just, you know, it's hard to say, that.
Yeah.
Comparing some speakers is like comparing Dean and Fernando. What are you trying to say, bro?
Oh,
I got a nice natural tan. What amp do you recommend for K2 three-ways and PSP? So, like in this particular vehicle, we're running the Mosconi 8 to 10 1 series. So it's the 1 8 to 10. Plenty of power for what we're trying to do. They also make the 6 to 10. So if you're just looking to power just the front stage, the 1 6 to 10 is really nice. That's this amplifier right here.
Oh, wow.
This one. Class AB. So plenty of power. What?
Here we go.
What? Oh, is that Bobby Snowpick?
Crazy, right?
Yeah. That's so weird to get snow this late in the year. Only in California.
Wow.
If you want the extreme, then you have the Mosconi Pro 830. Or you could do a 430 on your tweeter and your mid, and then get like
another 430.
Get like a 410 or a 210 to power the front mid bass.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things you can do to power those things and make them. Oh, is that a Morel? Oh my gosh, that's a Morel. Hey, guess what I got the other day?
What do you got?
I got the box that Casey wants us to build.
4?
That thing right there, literally.
What is that thing?
Let's play that game. What is that thing, Fernando?
I don't know, man. You are like telling me what is this?
You tell me what is this.
I still want to do a tattoo. I'm gonna do that.
You're gonna do the Lotus Grill as a tattoo?
Yeah, it's right here.
I mean, you know, I guess it's better than the spider web.
Right?
I mean, I just don't think your tattoo girls want to do that.
Why not?
Dude, you know how hard it is to do perfect circles?
You know what they do, right?
Yeah, do you know how hard it is to do a perfect circle? It doesn't matter what you do. Literally trying to. It does have to be perfect. Because there's a million little circles in there. Yeah. It's impossible. I don't think they can do it.
Alright.
I think it'll look like crap.
Okay.
But what is this? I think this might be cool.
No, I don't know that. See, that doesn't.
Yeah. Anyways, talk about it. Come on, ad man. Hold on.
Oh, no. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm done.
You are the one.
No, it's Fernando's turn.
All right. So now that we talk about this thing, let's open it so they can see it for the people that haven't seen it. So.
Look, it's the miniature version of Fernando.
Hey, what is this?
He doesn't know.
I don't know either. Anyway.
Dude, I don't even want to tell you what he called the Tundra this morning.
The what?
What he called the Tundra this morning.
What is the Tundra?
The
What is
Tundra.
Trying to call them Tacoma.
Well, no, I call him Tacoma just because I forget. I'm literally over here having him sound out the word. And finally got ton, and then the DRA just went to crap.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, dude, you get the A, and then it's an O, and you get the... Oh, it was so funny. Midget.
Well, this is the brand new...
Here, don't screw that up. I need
Ultimo.
that back in the box.
This is the brand new... Hang on. Hey, man, come on, man.
What are you looking at?
Right
Yeah.
This
Look
is
at that
the
brand new Ultimo. That is so awesome.
Come on, bro.
Down in front.
All right. right there. This is sexy. I mean, this is cool, right? But for me, it's like, look at that.
You should get that tattooed. That would be better.
What?
Just this whole
No,
look
that doesn't make
from
sense.
the back.
No.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense? It totally makes sense.
Anyway, brand new Ultimo Power Slim 12-inch subwoofer. What's the voice call? How many inches is the voice call?
It's 5.1 inch.
5.1 inch, dude.
So that real quick to pause.
Yes.
No, freeze. You got to freeze. To answer your F-150 question, just go get a new head unit. Don't go from Sync 2 to Sync 3. It's a waste of money. Get the new head unit. Go to iData. Get the appropriate kit for that. Everything will work the way it's supposed to. It's fantastic. Play.
All right. So, like I said, Morel Power Slim subwoofer.
See if you hold it up so we can see the voice call right there.
Yeah.
5.1
Sexy.
inches of, oh my God. I know, right?
Yeah. Look at
This is the surround, by the way. This is, like, you can see, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
The terminals are nice.
You know, I was looking at Morel_America on Instagram today, and they had like a close up. Somebody did like a macro shot on the tweeter.
On the tweeter.
Yeah, really bad one though. It was like, I was just like, really? Ooh, yuck.
You see that? You see that they have?
Yeah, that's your little business
It's
card.
a credit card.
Yeah.
That credit card comes with
A negative balance for just buying this.
to remind you that you just purchased a brand new subwoofer.
But
anyway,
yeah.
You want to see the specifications. A lot of people are like, hey man,
right
how
here.
much power
Slow
is
down.
this
Slow
thing?
down.
Like, I want to put,
1,000,000 watts?
10 million watts on this. I mean, you can.
No, you can't.
Good.
No, you can't. Don't even think about that.
Go to the morelhifi.com and you will have all the specifications, the subwoofer box that you need to build for this specific subwoofer.
Yeah.
The setups that you can do.
Oh, the magic ohm load chart.
Yes. Morelhifi.com.
Pretty cool.
This is the place.
There you go.
And one of my favorite speakers
It's like the longest ad ever.
Yeah, I mean, you keep interrupting. That guy either.
That's the SW12 right there, Mike. They don't look anything alike.
What?
Yeah, he said our SW12 looks very familiar. It looks nothing like that.
No, those
Here, hold that.
Make sure you drop something in your head.
I know.
Nothing. No. This looks more like
There you go. That looks nothing like that.
Yeah, no, this one looks more like the one that was like a subwoofer that was an illusion.
Yeah.
And now, yeah.
Although, I get what you're saying from the back, but totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want this in a box. I want to get this thing.
Well, it's in a box.
It is in a box.
I mean.
Shh. That was great.
I mean, it's not true.
Fantastic. Good one. That is amazing. All right, cool. Mike's going, damn it, they had one in the install bay.
Yeah.
What the hell? Hold on.
No, you can't.
No, I can't. There's no that box right there, guys. That box. We can't talk about it till. Apparently, we can't talk about it until the second week in April.
You know what? Let's talk about it.
No, no. Oh, we had Forna's Optima. Both are sick, 100%. Both of those. Wow, you just totally hit that box. Way to go. Yeah, that's a new product that we can't.
I can't talk about it, man.
Totally want to. It showed up at my house yesterday.
Yeah.
It's so cool. You guys are gonna be like, damn.
We also have
Not everyone is gonna be like, damn. We have a ton of new products to talk about.
We have that's not even.
No, we'll talk about that tonight. That's actually when we do the ad for audio control tonight. We have those.
Hey, you want to take?
No, they're actually looking
Check
at
it
me.
out.
They can't see you. I see an amp down. Any new goodies expected to be tested? As a matter of fact, what's in that box, yes, is going to go onto the dyno. So.
Wow.
Okay. Bobby goes, Kicker Warhorse?
What?
Yeah.
Dude, look, I have another box over here.
Yes.
You want to see what's inside?
No, nothing. Is there anything in there? I was gonna say, why do we have that box sitting there?
Because we have a lot of boxes. Why not? One more.
No.
Yeah, let's keep it.
I throw stuff out. We need to pull everything off of that
Yeah.
and put those away because we still have the boxes for those. This is the
Oh, look at that. You like foam? Morel has foam.
You like foam? Morel has foam. Best sales ever.
Boom.
This is the lab. So this is the lab out of the G35.
It was.
So these are going to get retired. Go into the shelf. Yeah, these are cool too. So like, Chris Bennett, when he worked at Audio Control, handed I think the 230 he had in like his pocket and he was walking around with it. Was it the 230? I feel it was the 230.
No, that was the one.
One of these he was walking around with his pocket, and we were missing one from the set because we have a 430 in the cabinet. Mm-hmm. It had to be the 230 because I think originally we had the 430 hooked up.
No.
Yeah, because we were active.
It
we were running.
matter. But it
totally
sure.
matters.
No.
Anyways, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
On Monday, April 18, announces new Total Eclipse Focal subs. Oh, Total Eclipse. So we did buy Eclipse glasses so that we can stare at the sun. Yep, we bought those because they're cheap and they're cool. It's really cool.
They're certified?
Certified what? To burn your retinas out? Yeah, totally.
Okay,
that's what I said.
perfect.
Don't look for a long time. For all the installs you guys did in 2023, which one was the best front stage speaker? Would you say that was the best?
I don't remember them.
I was gonna say
I don't. To be honest with you, like, when,
I don't even know
when
what year.
this car is gone.
Oh yeah, we totally
it's gone.
forget.
Like, that's it.
I'll go through my phone and see pictures of stuff, and I'll be like,
Did we do that?
or we'll have a car come back, and they'll just be passing through, and I'll be like, I mean, I've shot videos on stuff and published them, and then I go back and I go, I don't remember doing that.
The hard part of, and I'm gonna say it's the hard part to doing this every day. It's like you keep just changing and changing and changing, and it's like, man. Like this one. This truck sounds nice, It's gone. The other one comes in.
Yeah, I totally forget
The
about what you
Bronco,
did.
and it's like, oh my god, that was nice. Boom.
I might remember the Bronco for a couple days.
Really?
Just because we haven't done too many Broncos, so, And it had that cool orange grill in the back that we made.
Did we get a Bronco? When?
Oh, God. All I want to know is it Wednesday yet?
This Wednesday?
Yeah, I want to get on a plane, get the hell out of here. I'm going to go freeze my butt off.
See? At that point, for me, it doesn't count.
The best for me, I would say the Porsche Cayenne full Audio Tech Fisher. No, that one was great.
That was impressive.
That was
a lot of work.
Dude, that took a week.
Yeah, it took a week and
I don't know. It took a week. That's all I remember. It took Have you guys installed a 10-inch and a 2011 Chrysler 300C? No.
300C, no?
It's funny. We were also talking about that the other day. We used to do like Challengers, Chargers, 300s and stuff like that. They disappeared. All the time. They disappeared. Like, we don't see those cars
None
anymore. We'll get a flood of them next week.
I see the new ones, like the
Mike's car?
Like the Mike cars.
Maybe that's, I don't know.
I haven't seen
it's almost like
2007,
when the new
2000.
Yeah, it's almost like when that new body style came out. They literally just took them all and made them disappear. You don't know the car you were looking at. It's just so weird.
Here?
I don't know why you couldn't do it. I mean, as long as it's the double din.
It's a 2011.
Yeah, that's got to be doable.
Everything is doable. No. You're going to go to that headache to do it? Yeah. Why not?
Oh, what about the dude's Raptor with the Mosconi amps? So that one was beautiful. We did that one a couple weeks ago. The problem I had is at the time I couldn't hear all that well. So to me it was just like, cool. We used the Barney to tune that. Sage actually dialed in and did the Barney tune on it. Fernando said it sounded amazing because his ears worked that day, but mine, I had some inner ear problems, so it just sounded like this, and it was terrible. So,
yep.
But he is coming back in a couple weeks, I think, just to, I don't remember what for. Where did all the Ford Escapes go? Escorts.
Okay.
No, Escorts.
Oh,
Sorry.
Escorts.
Where all
Those two.
Yeah.
They gone.
No, the Escorts. The little, yeah.
Yeah,
Those,
they gone.
I mean, let's be honest.
Where are
Those they're in a landfill somewhere, I'm sure. Now it's Jeeps. Got lots
Remember
of Jeeps.
the Chryslers, Jesus.
The Caravans?
No.
The Pacificas?
Convertible.
Sebring?
The Sebring. There you go.
I felt like the Sebring held on way longer than it needed to. Like, all the old guys that wanted convertibles were buying Sebrings.
You know, they did the conversion to make it, I don't know what type of,
It was just stupid.
yeah.
Sebrings, yeah.
Sebrings.
Yeah. There again, that's a 20-year-old car now, though, you know, so,
Really?
and it was falling apart 5 years after they made it, so.
I think that was the next week as soon as you bought it. It's like, oh.
It's like the Cavalier. Like, we had a Cavalier
I had a Cavalier.
within the last 5 years. I know we had one Cavalier
That's
come
my
in.
first car.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was
Love
a
it.
Dodge Omni. And like you would expect with the Cavalier, the dash was non-existent. I mean, like, if you got in an accident in that car, I don't think you get hurt from the accident. I think you get hurt from the dash shattering into a million pieces and stabbing you like glass.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen the Hasbro Star Wars merchandise lately? Hasbro Plus YouTube channel has been promoting it a bunch. No. Oh, the Ford Probe. Artie used to have a Ford Probe.
What is a Ford Pro?
Look it up. It was their little two-door sports convertible, or Ford two-door sports
For what?
Ford Probe.
Probe?
Like anal probe. Yes, like probing. Yes.
Ford Pro.
Probe. Yes.
Wow.
It was like a fast version of an Escort.
Jesus, man. Yeah. Okay. It's
How
like a
about-
Mazda Miata, but longer.
A lot longer. It was full size. Basically the size of a Sebring. How about the 3-hour radio install Chevys? Yeah, right? Everything, before they had smart harnesses. No, I'll have to check out the Hasbro thing. I kind of have weaned myself off of buying Star Wars stuff, only because I have so much of it, and I've become more picky at what I get. If you guys caught The Boring Life of Dean and Haley last Sunday, you saw part of my helmet collection. Part of the helmet collection.
Yeah. Sebastian loves going to your house because
I don't know, he just likes to see and touch everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm addicted to helmets, man. The helmets are the coolest. They just take up so much room.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh God, because there's like 10 more I would like. There's a company called Cybercraft out of Russia that makes replica helmets of Halo and.
Oh, really?
You can buy.
They have a Halo one?
You can buy a perfect Master Chief. Like
any size, or it's one size?
It's one size.
No, damn.
He'll grow into it, but it's a perfect Master Chief.
How you see me, right?
It's okay. You're just the one small Spartan. You're a Spartan 2. You remember? Because the Spartan 2s were normal people that they just said, you guys can do it. And the other Spartans were like, that's funny.
Yeah. You guys are here.
Where are you? We're here. We're here right now.
Subway, you know?
Yeah, we're just chilling out. In the
Clearwater, Florida.
right across the street from the OG Hooters.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds good, too. I could go for some buffalo shrimp and french fries.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds wonderful. Hey, listen, guys. Tonight at 5 o'clock, that is right, tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I have Rex, and I have Cody.
You have
I have Rex and Cody helmets.
Rex.
Rex
Yes.
and Cody. And I have the Red Trooper. Anyways,
Yeah.
make sure to
5
tune in
today.
tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, either Facebook or YouTube, either one. That's when we go live. So
Answers to questions.
we'll answer all your questions.
Don't forget, this show is brought to you by the
Fine
amazing
folks
of Morel. MorelHiFi.com. This is a place that you can find some fast drinks for you.
Bye.